Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Strompcast. We are all things Alvalade. We have had a crazy week of football. But before we get into that, let me introduce you to my co-host. First, we got Chris. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right. I've had a couple days to sit on the result. Obviously, we got a little bit of a break now, which is, I guess, more time to think about it. But we have been trending. It was coming. It was another looking at the watch game. And this time, didn't quite get out of there.
Yeah, facts. And Danny, how you today, man?
Doing good. Like Chris said, had some time to think about the result. Now I won't overreact just yet, like a lot of the Sportingistas have over the weekend. I felt like, but
That's unlike sporting fans to overreact.
yeah, of course.
No,
Never. We're the most level-headed, fans there that are out there, of course.
Noted pacifist fans, Sporting
Yeah.
they're known as.
Exactly. So but the weekend was dealt with a lot better because I haven't given an update yet this season. I am finally 1-4 on my fantasy football leagues, boys. The win has come, and the playoffs are coming.
20%.
20% chance.
21% actually. Give me that.
So you're saying there's a chance.
But I'm good, and the Jays are playing soon, so
they ripped my heart.
All is good over here. Sporting could have made my sports weekend a whole lot better, but at least we didn't lose. I'll say that.
And also at least no one took advantage of the result.
Exactly.
Yeah, true. Nothing really changed in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Facts. And Richard, how you today, man?
I'm good. I like Chris and Danny, had some time to digest everything going on over the weekend. Not gonna overreact or get too emotional yet. But we, signs are there to maybe start, having some thoughts, but we'll get into it as we analyze the game and we analyze kind of the bigger picture. We got a lot of stuff to kind of go on that. And there was a Classico that didn't involve us that we'll delve into a little bit as well.
Yeah, most definitely. But before we do that, make sure you follow all things Alvalade on all social media platforms. But let's get into the game then. So it was a 1-1 draw versus Sporting Braga. Let me just read out the lineup as followed. Rui Silva in goal, Arujo, Inacio, De Bast, Vaginidis, Pedro Gonçalves, Morita, Trincao, Hillman, Kenda, Suarez. Off the bench, Addison, Cochaverdi, Ioannidis, Fresneda, and Jenny. Rich, I'll start with you. What were your overall thoughts on this game?
This game kind of stunk, This was like Chris nailed it on the head right off the top of the show, which was a lot of just checking your watch and looking up at the scoreboard and just hoping they can pull it off. They get their goal. It was a Suarez goal. He continues to be an enigma. The stuff that should be going in doesn't go in. The stuff that should be missing tends to be going in. It's really weird, but he gets a goal kind of off of a bit of calamity. We take it. I thought Rui Silva was actually good in this game. He had a couple of really good saves. I wanted to note that as part of the goalkeepers union. It was a pretty even game. Like Braga, I thought for good stretches were actually the better team and really pushed us. I thought Kenda and Pot actually had better games this week. I thought Vaj was a bit of a breath of fresh air over Fresneda for sure. Offered a bit more when we were attacking compared to Fresneda, so I'm fine with that. Fotish comes in, doesn't really get to do a whole heck of a lot. He gets a 5.2 from the goal point gods. Hillman, Trincao, and Morita were just kind of bang average for me. Like they didn't do anything egregious. They just didn't do anything really to set them apart or spectacular, I felt. I liked Alisson off the bench as well. But you could kind of feel when Braga scored, you can kind of feel it coming. Like they were pressing, they were trying. We were kind of happy to sit back and try to kind of just shit house and time waste, which I hate when when you're a goal up. Sometimes doing that, like it's the worst. So I felt like a draw was probably the fair result at the end of this, given how the game kind of played out. I think Braga definitely has some shouts for the big penalty. They've got some beef for sure. I thought it was actually going to be called. Like there's contact, there's pulling, there's tugging. of all sorts. Alison Santos already has a GOAT account on Twitter.
Sorry,
What a
I don't know
time to
if
be
Chris, if
alive.
you're giggling on the same thing. The guy's
Yeah.
name is Alison Santos.
Yeah.
Goat.
Bro is locked in as he should be.
Bro is here. He's
I
That's
love
his
it.
burner
I
account, low key.
fucking love it, bro. He had the game on his feet
He did.
in the 96th
He did.
minute.
I thought he was just gonna score.
I
He had
know.
such a
I thought
golden
he was
chance.
gonna score,
Bro,
too.
even
It
in the
would've been legendary.
77th, bro, he cuts in.
Oh,
Just
on the little run,
why?
there, and it just doesn't
Bruh.
quite go his way. Yeah, I liked Alison off the bat. I've been really
Yeah.
happy with him so far. Actually, especially the last few games, he's brought a lot off the bench. Just like a nice energy and pace, especially like on the attack. Like I've been enjoying that. But yeah, like you could if you're Braga, you kind of feel maybe a bit hard done by that penalty. There was the one we talked about before the show in the 10th minute, 10 or 11 minutes in, where it's kind of similar, but we don't really get any replays of it because I thought the ref was actually going to go to VAR, and Chris pointed that. I almost forgot about it. Thank you, Chris, for pointing that out. That the ref was on like his headset or his speaker for 20, 30 seconds or so. And then they just played on. So I thought, oh, there must not have been anything. I would like to see that one again because we didn't
Weirdly,
really
no
get...
Benfica account tweeted about it, no Porto account tweeted about it.
Yeah, I want to see
under the
that one.
radar.
I want to see that. We didn't get any replays of it on Sport TV. I'd like to see that one again because like during the broadcast and even in like highlight packs, that one's not been shown. The other one has been shown ad nauseum this week, and I get why, because if you're Braga, you probably feel hard done, and if you're Sporting, you might feel like you kind of got away with one. But we moved because Portuguese refs are that inconsistent where it's I could see them being like, yeah, that's absolutely a penalty, but also sometimes they just don't call that because that happens so much.
Rich, let me interrupt
Like-
you real quick.
Oh, go for it. Go for
Because
it.
I want to touch on what the referee said, because you know how he comes on to his little mic and gives an
He
explanation.
gives an explanation to the crowd, like in hockey,
says
and soccer, and
The
basketball.
Sporting player, number 42, grabs the attacker, penalty.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to keep it short and sweet for the
Yeah.
mic, but to me, that's not a good enough explanation, bro.
You would think you feel like if you're
Because it
fan, you want a bit
establishes, it's like,
more.
oh, he grabs him and it obstructs him from getting the ball, and the ball was gonna land. It's like,
Or
just a
if he
little
grabs
bit-
him because
yeah.
he's in the air.
Mhm.
Sorry.
yeah, he might be
Yeah,
makes
jumping
more
up, he
sense,
might grab
yeah.
an arm or a shirt, or
like we
like,
still don't know what the
elbow him.
criteria is.
Yeah.
You know,
It's because the rules are applied too inconsistently. We've seen that time, and that's
and I
what the
do think it's a
frustrating
fine
thing is.
call. You know,
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
ultimately.
Yeah, I think a draw is fair. Like I said, I think the way this game played out, a 1-1 draw is probably the fairest outcome, given how both teams play. I really don't have any outstanding notes on this game. Like it was kind of a blah game. Yeah, like this, like his hands like this.
And it's
You
like
can't really, when your
bro,
hands
you
are
can
like that,
see
you're
his
not in a
sports
good
bra. He's
position.
grabbing his shirt so much you can like see his sports bra.
You can
under
see
it,
the little
know?
the little muscle
the-
sports bra thing.
Yeah, the tracker. Thing.
Yeah, like
he's
it's-
grabbing. You can see his shoulder. Not slick, bro.
Yeah. When you're in that position, when you're in that type position and your hands are up like this on an attacker,
The
probably
ball
should
doesn't even
doing
go
that.
in that direction. I was just like, come on,
Well,
man.
yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. The ball's behind him. Well, not behind him, but it's not
Because he
going to
grabbed
him.
him, though.
I don't know, but like that's the thing. Like regardless,
Just
the
panic.
ball's not
It's
going in
complete
that
panic.
direction. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. It's a panic move, and it shows. Like there's just, I don't know, when your hands are like this on an attack or up like this at any given point in a soccer game, unless you're the keeper, probably should stop that immediately. But yeah, it's just calamity as usual.
yeah. I mean, I'll go quickly next because I'm looking at this and it's making me angry again. But what made me even more annoyed is on the replay of when the referee's about to give his announcement, Hillman is there laughing, like he can't believe the decision's been given. How do you not think that's a penalty? Like, come on, man.
Martin, I like you.
It's a very
Come on.
incriminating freeze frame.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting to like break down in tears or anything, but like
that's the freeze frame of like,
It
hey,
really annoyed
that's
me.
me. when that freeze frame comes, you're expecting to be like, "Hey, that's me." You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Like, yeah, not like that freeze frame alone is, like you said, Sam, incriminating as hell.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of overall game, you guys know I love Rui Borges, but he got it set. He set it up wrong.
I would agree a bit.
I think the draw was a fair result, but I do think Braga dominated us in quite a lot of the aspects of the game. They had more possession. I feel like they arguably created a lot more, especially in the first half. I thought, even though we sort of scored out of nothing. Like even
they felt like the more dangerous team.
The goal we scored, it was a savable one. I don't even know what Hornacek does.
Yeah,
sort of like
I thought he was. I guess he figured, it's the way it was cutting across, it was gonna go just completely across goal, and he must have misjudged it.
Yeah, he puts his arm out, pulls it back.
He puts his arm, like hesitates. He puts his arm out and then he pulls it back. I'm like, no, if you put your hand out, it's not a goal. Like you push it off and it probably at best goes off the post and out.
Yeah. And there was that chance that Rui Silva saved off the line, which was an incredible save, by the way.
Oh, that was phenomenal.
But I look at the game and think we set up wrong. They had more of the ball. They felt like they were going to create more and attack more. Their strikers really didn't do anything. But outside of the goal, I don't think Luis Suarez did much of anything. I feel like they set him up very well. Pedro Gonçalves, he should not have played 90 minutes. I didn't think he was awful, but yeah, he should have came off. Trincao and Morita. Trincao, especially the last 3 or 4 games. I don't know who's playing. Who is that? That is not Trincao. That is so bad. And one thing I've noticed, he does not go in for any aerial duels. He does not go in for any headers. He sort of pretends to do it, but that's it. He never goes. He never commits. And it really frustrates me. Once you notice it, you will just keep noticing that he doesn't go in for any of those duels or anything like that. And then Morita, it's weird because I don't think he did anything too bad this game. Like there was no he made a massive error. But he was just late to everything. He just felt like he was slowing us down. And watching João Simões against Napoli, where everything sort of went through him and we attacked more because he had the ball and he can progress. I look at Morita, I'm just like, if I was Rui Borges, João Simões would be the starter next to Hjulmand. Yeah. I think we said we've all said Koch is a bit too defensive with Hjulmand. Both of them sort of are too similar to play against each other or to play with each other. Simões is the perfect fit. And he wasn't even called up. It was a technical choice. There was no injury, no suspension.
What do we think of Koch's cameo in this game?
Oh, not great either.
Forgettable again.
Bro, he probably had an XG of 1.2.
The amount of times he just had the ball, it's like shoot
the ball, just put it on net, just hope.
Some of our better chances in the second half fell to him.
Yeah.
I really needed Koch to have the Conrad Harder mentality of.
I want to believe in him, bro, but it's just getting harder too, and his confidence definitely isn't growing.
No, you're not.
It is like the spot is calling for Simões. It really is.
He played. I really like Simões in the Napoli game. Like I want to see more of him as opposed to Koch at this rate.
And I know he's been injured. There's nothing we can do about it. But if Braganza was fit, 100%, I'd be calling for him to start as well.
For sure.
Of course.
I think he's right now a level above Morita. But it's the same thing. He can't stay fit.
He's still 6 to 8 months away at least.
If he even comes back.
If we're lucky.
Yeah. But there's a few more individual performances. One of them bad. Inacio. I think he is just not good enough in a back four. I think in a back three, sure.
Exposed
he had, and I think it's without Diamonde. But that's not a slight on the Bass. I'm not saying the Bass isn't good enough. But without Diamonde there to sort of guide Inacio and help Inacio, it is night and day. Especially technically we didn't concede from one, but if that's Diamonde instead of Hjulmand there, or instead of whoever asked Inacio, to me, I don't think that happens. And I think we missed Diamonde massively. He didn't go to Ivory Coast in the international break, so hopefully he should be fit next week or the week after. But in terms of good performances, Giovanni Kenda, man, I think he's just so good. He's just so good on the ball for his age. Yeah. And he just, in a high pressure game like this, I know that I will say that the end product there wasn't there for him in this game. But everything else, he was the only one creating chances. He's the only one that felt like he wanted to move. Maybe him and Luis Suarez. Trincao didn't give that for me. Pedro Gonçalves didn't give that to me. Alisson off the bench gave it to me. But in terms of from the start, Kenda and Suarez for me. And lastly, Maxi getting a 5.0 is crazy because I thought he was
Yeah,
quite-
that's a little low for me. Goal point.
But I think the white solo, I was looking on Sofa Score. He had 5 fouls
I
without
was
a
gonna
yellow
say, was
card.
it as I
Yeah.
was about to ask, was it fouls by chance? Because he did have a few stupid fouls.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know how he didn't get booked. But also at the same point, I don't know how Zalazar's still on the pitch after that tackle on Maxi. It is
I forgot about that.
crazy.
That was
Almost a scissor tackle,
mental
studs above the
tackle.
ankle. Crazy. But apart from that, Zalazar is a good player, I will say. But yeah, 1-1 I think is fair. I'm not calling for Reborn's job or anything like that. But I think in this game, and I wasn't on the last podcast, I don't know if you guys mentioned it, against Estoril as well, I didn't really feel like we set up well. Estoril had a lot of the ball where we didn't. And maybe it was just we thought, oh, maybe it's a one-off. But coming into this game,
He's had
maybe
a
it wasn't.
couple. He's had a couple games where I felt kind of the same way you have, Sam. Where I think he's got the setup or the selection a bit wrong, and it sucks because he's kind of done that the last 2 or 3 games. I feel like.
People will point to the Napoli one as well, and I understand, but I think even with a rotated team, I still think we played really well.
I
So,
think that came down more to individual errors than necessarily
Exactly.
his selection. There's some you could poke maybe some holes in his selection that game for sure. I think that one came down to more just individual moments of stupidity.
Yeah, but before the game, it was like, okay, well, I don't know why Suarez isn't playing. I don't know why Pedro Gonzalez isn't playing. But even still, I thought we played well. But, I just think if the game against Estoril and this one does have me asking questions of like, how has this happened? Because Braga especially have been awful this season. They have been poor.
It's
They have not
mathematically
been
the
winning
worst
teams.
Braga start in like 10
In a
years
while.
or more.
In a long time.
They haven't won. I know this probably feels like a win for them, or this feels at least like a loss for us. They haven't won in like 5 games in the league,
Yeah,
which
this
is crazy
one of
because
the
they're
worst-
undefeated in Europe right now. So
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest Braga teams, certainly that I can remember in a long time.
yeah.
And I think it was Goal Point. It might have been someone else. But before the season started, they had Braga, their fixtures as the easiest in the league. They'd like AVS, Estrella,
To start.
Tondela.
Yeah.
Like this was their only tough game. There's like a Victoria in there as well.
Able to relegation fodder teams to start, and they struggled.
In like the season prediction, it was like by this game, Braga would be first and unbeaten, and they're what 7th, 8th. So yeah.
They're the way they're playing, they
winless.
might be lucky to get into Europe next year.
Yeah, that's what makes it more disappointing for me. Just that they've been that bad. But anyway, that's it from me. Danny, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on some of your points there too, because I agree. I mean, Kenda to me was probably at the time, especially early on in the game, I was saying to my dad, he was like our best player and our worst player at the same time, because he would do these magical things. He would take on a guy, he would push play forward, and then he'd pass it in the middle, and it's right off to like a Braga midfielder. Or the ball would come to him, he'd make like a great action, he'll try to connect to somebody, bam, right back to Braga. But I agree. Kenda was phenomenal this game.
I think it's also an energy thing for me as well. He brings so
brought
much.
that energy.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, he's fucking better. He's fucking 18.
He is still a literal
18 in
child.
like 2 weeks.
He is still a child in most jurisdictions in the world.
Exactly. He can't even like drink in the States for like.
He can't join the
years,
military like anywhere. Like,
you know what I mean?
Like can't drink almost anywhere. Like, this is still a child.
But nonetheless, a child playing a grown man's game and playing it extremely well, right? The right side is just so much better when it's Kenda and Vaginidis rather than Kenda and Frejmerda, who I barely played this game, but I'm still gonna have a bone to pick with him later on in this rant that I have. But yeah, Kenda, Vag, phenomenal. So much was talked about Benfica's fullbacks. There was a fullback that went to Porto that Benfica just today, Carlos Alberto was trying to claim that he spat on the guy on those comunicados that I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Oh, we got to talk about the comunicado boys. Don't you worry.
I think Vaginidis so far, and one of my few gripes with Rui Borges that I have, because I will come to defend him this podcast, is that he doesn't play Vaginidis enough, because I really think we're a different team with him than without him. He got subbed off and we conceded a goal not that long after. Let me just say that. What you said about Inacio, I thought was more towards Debas this game. Napoli for sure. Inacio was at fault for the goals. This game, I want to put it more towards Debas. A lot of Braga shots came off Debas, either hesitating to press his man. Debas offers more offensively than he does defensively, and I think maybe that's what we're missing this game. Whereas if we had Diomande rather than Debas, Inacio might be the one to try to push ball forwards with. He's not as good as Debas, don't get me wrong, but he'll have a bit better defensive performances than Debas, I would say. I'm a Trincão fanboy, but he's disappeared these last 2-3 games. Even Pot, I'm surprised Pot got a 6.5 this game. I thought Pot was poor this
also
game.
Pot's on 3 yellows now for the league. Should be noted.
Hey, listen,
they're all from
just
arguing, I swear. As well.
I don't even know what he did this game to get a yellow.
One's our game against Benfica. You can guarantee we'll be on yellow card watch a week or two.
Don't worry, bro. All that means is that Alisson Santos, the GOAT,
is going to start.
He has there on Twitter, gets to start a lot.
We don't. I feel like he's the GOAT off the bench, dude.
He's the bench GOAT. He's like the bench mob.
Because like
he's the Arthur Gomez.
We have a Tasa game.
He just magnified against tired legs, but he's still faster than you against fresh legs too.
Yeah.
And let me say, since we're on Alisson, this cameo that he did today, or not today, but on the weekend, phenomenal. He's been slowly getting better. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know about this Alisson guy. Like, Union Leiria, this is a big step.
When was the last bad cameo he had? 2 months ago?
Exactly.
Against Porto, but even still, everyone
everybody was
great, but he was.
And I think he only had like a minute and 30 seconds as well. Like it wasn't a long time.
Like he was literally like, come on, and then like boom, whistle blew. Like.
Yeah, so I've been pleasantly surprised and pleased with Alisson's performances. But mind you, I think the 78th. Well, okay, fine, it goes wide. That maybe the adrenaline's high. We're pushing for it. The pressure's on, but that's a chance that has to go on target right at the end. I don't care how much the pressure's on, buddy. This is not Union Leiria. That has to go at least on target. If it hits the post, it hits the post. Safoda. You gotta get
it on that. Either hit the post or make the keeper work.
Exactly. And just like on Pot, I criticized in this game and I didn't think he had a great game whatsoever. And I'm with you, Sam. He should have came off. You know who would have probably filled that position really well? João Simões. So that's another slight to Rui Borges that we can have on this game in terms of the choice. But with Pot right at the end, he gets a header to it. I really wish it was somebody else. Don't get me wrong. Pot is, probably like 2 inches taller than me. So I can only imagine heading ability is not that great. And it sort of just goes straight to the keeper's hands. But at least it was on target. At least he didn't head it completely wide, right? But in terms of the game itself, last thing on individual performance, we mentioned it already. I want to give the kudos to Rui Silva because although some of those shots were right at him, some big saves, and we sort of questioned his goalkeeping, whether, he was falling off a bit against Napoli, and rightfully so. And then he came with some huge saves against Braga to at least keep us in it. And for the time that those saves were being made, almost feeling like we nicked the win there.
Yeah, it was a good bounce back game from him for sure.
For sure. The thing with the performance, I felt like the opening 20 minutes we were the better team up until we scored the goal. And maybe this is my other slight on Rui Borges, because now it's becoming sort of a thing that I've noticed, especially in the bigger games, is that we score that goal and then the intensity just seems to drop. And I don't know if it's a player thing. I don't know if it's actually something, tactically, because, whether or not you like it, I would like to say that for the most part, Rui Borges, even if he gives up possession, we do seem to defend pretty compact, and we do limit their chances to half chances or even shots that go right to the keeper, or of course they score, right? So maybe, there's a slight there. Maybe that is something that's being instructed once we get the first goal in the game to try to be as solid as possible and then hit them on a counter. But after we scored that first goal, we just gave them everything. And like I was saying earlier with Kenda and others, not just Kenda, we gave up the ball a lot too much in terms of transitions. They didn't really even flood the midfield all that much, in my opinion, for us to be giving away balls as easily and as cheaply as we did. So I was disappointed there. I can also look at our midfielders. Hillman hasn't had a few good games in a while now too. Captain or not, do we drop him? I mean, tough to say. Maybe we play Koch there. Maybe this Tasa game will be something good for us in terms of rotation because we'll definitely need it. Hillman's played a lot of games too. But I was not impressed with Hillman before the penalty. And then with the penalty, that was even more
Who's our
disappointing.
Tasa game against again? Anyways.
Against, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And then Morita, like we said, Morita, this game wasn't that great. I thought against Napoli he did all right, but this game not so much. Or maybe if it wasn't Napoli, there was a game before that I thought he played well, but this game not so much. But yeah, it was just we were in that slump. Braga was definitely, getting the better chances. And then I want to say on like the 75th minute onward, I thought again we became the better team. We had the better chances. We had that chance that like Kosh was like. Am I tripping out here? Am I thinking of a different game? Weren't we like 3-on-2 at some point, and then Kosh had to completely slow down the play, or somebody had to slow down the play, and I think the only pass was maybe to Kosh, and he tried to shoot and went against the defender or something like that.
I think Koch passed it to someone else because I remember at one point screaming "shoot" when Koch had the ball,
We screamed shoot a few times.
Yeah, and then we lost possession on that pass, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like
But
that.
it was like sort of like a breakaway or something.
Yeah, it was like
right?
a failed break that became.
I think it was Pedro Gonzalez who got the final ball and then ended up losing it.
Possibly, yeah. That makes more sense. I was trying to find the clip here, but they don't have it on V Sports. But anyways, like I was saying, on the 75th minute onwards, because then we had the Allison chance, and then maybe we had another chance after that. I can't remember now. But in the 75th minute onward, I felt like we were really. We were breaking well. We could have maybe gotten that 2-0 game's done, and I really didn't feel anything from Braga, although they maybe had more possession even at that point too. And then that penalty comes, and it's just such a cheap penalty to give away. And once I seen it, I knew they were going to give it just because of how the game went. I know Dave Pereira's in the chat, and I hope Dave doesn't take me wrong, but I felt like this ref, what I've noticed on this ref specifically is he'll go against the team that's winning. So if you're up 1-0, the cheap little fouls that the other team will ask for, you'll get.
Yeah.
But the cheap little fouls that you want, you'll no longer get. The Luis Suarez got a yellow before Vitor Carvalho for doing something that Vitor Carvalho did to Suarez like 5 minutes prior. Vitor Carvalho, I mean, hey, listen, he had a great game. To be fair to him, this is how they play against Gyökeres last season. Sometimes you just gotta be a brute against our striker, especially when the guy's scoring goals or at least finding himself in the right area. Fair enough. But I thought Vitor Carvalho could have seen maybe 3 or 4 yellow cards this game alone. Same with Maxi. I thought Maxi could have seen a yellow card, at least one, right? So,
could have been called for a pen too if he really wanted to.
Yeah, I think that one was tough. The one on Maxi, I mean, his hand is right on the body. It just sort of at first I thought it was just his head, but
I thought it was his head too. But then I think I'm actually convinced that he strategically used his arm. Actually,
yeah,
I think it was going to hit his body anyway, so I think that's probably why they were just fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, bro, if your arm is like this, right to your body, it's if he was out slightly, I think they would have called.
Yeah, it's not like it's a necessarily unnatural position, right?
Yeah. And then Zalazar, I mean, he got a yellow. He could have maybe gotten a second yellow with the stamp, but fair enough. Yeah. A few things that weren't called this game on both sides for sure. I know Braga might be feeling like we got away with some, but I thought the ref was pretty poor on that case, but no excuses. I thought, fair. The draw is probably the fair result, but I mean, there's games that I can remember where we deserved to win and we lost, so fuck the fair result. I really thought we were going to go away with the win.
It would have been nice to sneak the win, especially given the result of the Clasico game. It would have been really nice to sneak if we could have snuck off with the win and we were really close.
Of course, yeah. I mean, winning, especially when the rivals play each other, where one team is guaranteed to lose points, if not both. Yeah. Of course, that's the better route to go. And in terms of the reaction after the game, of course, I get it. It is frustrating because of that. And because, as Sporting fans, we've been here so often and so many times. It's frustrating that this is another chance that we let go, especially when we almost had it. I resonate with that feeling as well. I get it, but this Rui brigade, Rui Borges is the worst manager in out of the big three.
That needs to settle down.
It does, because Rui Borges has done a lot of good, and also this rhetoric that the media is pushing that on big games we're not winning, because this season we lost to Benfica in a Super Taça, so early on in the season while they had Club World Cup and Champions League playoffs. We lost to, and again, it was we did score an offside goal that I don't know what was offside, but I digress. We lost to Porto, and we lost the game when we were on top.
That Super Taça mistake from Rui Silva, it wasn't
on their goal.
You can't blame, exactly, and you can't even blame that on Rui Borges there. The Porto game, it was a banger, and it was like a lapse of concentration. You can't blame that on Rui Borges, because we were on top of that game because of what happened in halftime. If anything, you have to praise the manager for that.
Yeah.
The Napoli game, I thought we played really well against Napoli.
Lapses of judgment.
You can't blame that on the team. And if you look at even under Ruben Amorim, one of our biggest challenges were against the little teams. We don't show up. And so far this season, okay, you can maybe say the Estoril game. That looks like a one-off, because the other games we were slapping our opponents for the most part. And like I said, I think under Rui Borges we've played some really good stuff. So it's coming. If anything, it's coming too soon. Like, we should not be attacking our manager.
I think coming out of the international break, if they continue to kind of struggle in games, especially games that are winnable games, then I think it's very fair to start asking some of those questions.
I think it still depends. If we're playing badly, if we're giving them up possession on the little teams, fine. If he's not making the right substitutions, fine. But so far, I cannot complain about his substitutions. The only complaint so far I can make is he didn't call up João Simões, and Simões wasn't injured. Because I even asked during the game, like, oh, Simões isn't on the bench, and you guys were like, oh, he's injured. I was like, oh, cool. Like, I need to see training sessions.
Or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then only after the game do we find out, no, it's an actual choice. That interesting choice to make. Interesting choice to make, especially after the game he made.
Yeah. I think
for the most part, substitutions has been solid.
Yeah.
Gameplay, for the most part, in my opinion, you guys can say otherwise. In my opinion, I thought gameplay has been solid. We've had our opportunities. If you want to go to the stats, I don't think Ruben Amorim has had. I know people hate XG, but I don't think Ruben Amorim has had XG as high as Rui Borges has had this season. So,
well, that's a Gyökeres effect as well. If he did, Gyökeres has 5 XG just by himself.
Exactly, by himself. And without Gyökeres, we're still having incredible XG. We've replaced them pretty well, and if anything, we're playing more as a team. And that's the end of my rant. I just want to say, this Rui Borges out brigade needs to calm the fuck down. I mean, just admit you don't find them as handsome as Ruben Amorim. That's all I ask you to admit.
Which is unfair, because he's a handsome lad himself.
Yeah,
for sure. But Ruben Amorim is you once dated a supermodel, but now you're dating.
It's like the silver fox look,
a 9 out of 10, and it's she's cute, I guess.
Rui Borges has more of a silver fox look to him than a Ruben Amorim, but he's a handsome guy.
Facts.
He's a handsome lad.
Facts. It's like you went from dating a 22-year-old to now you're dating someone actually your age. You fucking creep.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. I do want to piggyback off you a bit, Danny. I do think the Rui Borges out crowd needs to just pause and relax for a second. Come back to me in a month or two, and if they still don't have a lot of results, if the play style regresses or kind of doesn't really move us, then I think it's absolutely fair to ask those questions. I think in Champions League they're getting slapped up regardless, and I think anybody who expect otherwise is a little bit delusional. I think domestically, if they have a fall off or something, ask those questions. But I think right now, it's still too early to be that gung ho to be we need a new manager. I don't think there's anything close to enough to even really genuinely be asking those questions. I think you got to give them another little bit of time. before
We
you
can't
can
say-
start
we-
to look at that.
We can't say we're cooked in the Champions League and then be upset if we lose a game in the Champions League by fine margins.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I
If
think we can have
perform
Pep
against
Guardiola
Napoli,
and
like we will against the other teams, I'm happy with that because
Yeah.
I thought we got one.
Yeah.
And
If we don't
again,
get
we're not
slapped
losing-
up, if we don't get slapped up in any games, I'm taking that as a win.
And we didn't
That's the
lose the
point.
game that we have to win, like our rivals did. You lose the
Yeah.
game you have to win. Okay, fair enough. But we didn't. We played
We
well that
drew.
game. We dominated. We took
Yeah.
it serious. The 4-1 to Karat, right? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, and like I was gonna say, we can have Pep Guardiola. I think people would still have like some sort of
People would still have
some sort of
something to
issue,
complain
some
about.
sort of like fire this manager and I don't know who to replace him with. Let me give you a super unrealistic option on who to replace him with.
Yeah,
But-
we're getting Sir
or
Alex.
somebody that's unproven.
We're getting Sir Alex Ferguson next out of retirement.
Yeah, I don't know,
like,
man.
what do people want? Like, what do people think we're gonna get? Like, okay, you get rid of Rui Borsch tomorrow, just for a second. Who do you bring in? Like,
Yeah.
what kind of make believe?
Sergio Conceição
Land
off
you
the
bring
market,
in.
man.
He is off the
There
market.
you
I've
go,
just seen that.
Sergio. Big Sergio's off the market. So who do you get? That's what I
Yeah,
want to know.
let's get Zinedine Zidane. I seen a tweet that was saying like, let's try to get Zinedine Zidane out of retirement.
Let's
yeah,
get
like, he'll come
Klopp
to
before
Sparta.
Benfica
Get
gets
out.
him.
Exactly. Let's get Klopp before we
Get Jurgen
Like,
in
come
here.
on, bro. What are we doing here? Like,
You're gonna get Carlos Carvalhal, and you're gonna like it.
yeah,
You're gonna get some
exactly.
Portuguese guy for the 8th time. You're gonna get
Do you-
Kaiser again, like
Zaydu?
Saidu for the 3rd or 4th time.
George Jesus probably.
Hope you don't like substitutes because you're not getting anything with Pasaidu, that's for sure.
Or knowing Varandas, whoever your favorite ex-player is, he'll be managing us soon. Don't worry.
Who's an ex-Sporting
João
player?
Pereira will be coming back, bro. Don't
As
worry.
well, the prodigal son returns.
And Tunes just got in.
And Tunes, yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Antunes! Let's get
Yes, there you go.
Antunes. Let's get Antunes back. Let's get Luis Nato as a head coach. Fuck it. Let's see what
Yeah,
he
might
can
as
do.
well.
Do you know what I think it is before I pass on to Chris? When we're talking about, people wanting new managers, there's two reasons I think it is. I think people love like the dopamine of like new transfers and new managers because it is fun. Like even a transfer.
There's
like,
that intrigue.
Yeah, and there's also like that when it happens, you're like, oh, so that's like cool. Like transfers happening,
Okay.
manager appointments happening. But also, we're in an age of like shit, like really bad attention spans and everything like that. Whenever a manager is appointed at football, I see it all the time. It's who's going to replace him or what's going to happen next. It's never sort of like a 5-year. Like even like when Ruben Amorim was first appointed to Manchester United, you had it all the time. Who's going to be the next manager after Ruben Amorim? It was never like, oh, Ruben Amorim's going to be this long. And you can make it like with.
I never saw anything. I never saw anything when Ruben Amorim first went to United of like he's going to be long term. It's like, well, what happens if he doesn't make it long term? It wasn't saying he's good. It's just like, well, what if he doesn't? What if he's just like all the other Man United managers is gone in like a year or two?
But you see it in like NBA as well. Like,
Yeah.
like, when are we going to trade for this guy? When is this manager going to? When is this going to happen? I think sports
Career
fans in general
modes
just have
and like
short
be a GM
attention
modes have
spans.
ruined
Even in
people's
in
attention
NBA
spans.
too, my favorite thing that it's slowly coming into soccer. It's like in the NBA, a guy like has like 5 bad games or 5 games where he doesn't get more than like 12 points. And it's tweets getting ready of like, start learning Chinese, buddy. Like, like chill, bro. Like, 5 games, bro. I'm in a 5-game slump.
We've had that in soccer now, where it's like
Yeah,
best
now
start
it's just
learning your
like,
Arabic.
Start
buddy.
learning Arabic, buddy. Like,
Like,
Yeah. But anyway,
that
Chris.
has slowly made its way into soccer lingo.
so has
too.
Hater
We're not
Central,
wrong.
which I'm
Haters.
thrilled
and-
about.
Yeah,
Thrilled
we've been
about.
getting a lot of haters.
Honestly, I think that the Rui Silva save ultimately saves the game for us. The one where he like gets a hand and I think it's a header.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a massive save that ultimately does save the game for us. Fair result. Kind of a shit house. It was similar to the Estoril game in the sense that we got the early goal and then it's just kind of can we hold on? Second half was a bit better. Like Danny said, the 30 minutes after the goal in the first half were atrocious. Braga honestly did come to play and competed well, and the game was evenly distributed and battled out at various times. Some moments in the second half, we definitely we're knocking on the door, we're creating chances, we're building a bit of momentum. Never happened. And yeah, we left the door open as, can happen when it's only 1-0 and any they get a chance to pump it forward into the box. Humland has been penalized for this offense in the past multiple times, so it's safe to say that he is a grabber in the box, I suppose. He is a relatively easy guy to call fouls on and to book, especially in this league. I'm shocked it doesn't happen more, to be quite honest. And yeah, I mean, it's a couple bad games in a row for Reborge in the league. Some of them were still results, and I mean, I guess this is still a half result. Napoli game was a better performance, but didn't come out with a result. And obviously, the performance was good, but it's not like we dominated large stretches of the game. The performance was mostly good because it was organized defensively, I would say, and we just competed well. I thought more so than anything, more so than we were dominating large stretches of the game, which we did briefly, but not the majority, certainly. This game, probably 50-50, to be quite honest. The draw is, truthfully, the fair result, ultimately. Braga probably did enough to score, and we did enough to score. Maybe not on the chance that we did score on, but I think we did enough to score in this game. And it's tough. It's tough, but ultimately, as far as the table goes and the result in the other game, it could have been worse. It's a missed opportunity, but it's not a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cool. Let's get on to predictions. I'll share my screen, and Richard, you can talk us through. You're muted, Richard.
Yeah, I'm muted, buddy.
Nothing really changed this week in predictions because none of us got the result or scoreline. We all had a goal scorer, so we all got a point. So we take those. If you move upwards to the standings,
Simoes, nothing.
yeah, no, that was a poor choice in hindsight. So Sam still in first, 15. 4 points behind him is myself and Danny, and then Chris just 2 points behind us. Next game is the Tossa game against Paços de Ferreira.
Yep. On the
I'm
18th.
I'm content to wait on a prediction for that because that's probably going to be a heavily rotated team.
Allison
Yeah.
hat trick,
That's all
probably.
right now.
Allison 5 goals.
I don't know if they've won yet for the Segunda Liga, but
Paços de Ferreira. I haven't kept up
They've
with my
been poor.
Segunda
Yeah, I
Liga.
have noticed
as
that.
of
Have
3
they?
games ago, they hadn't.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, that's not great for them, but probably good for us.
They have not.
Who knows?
Might
They have
not.
not. They still haven't.
0-2-5.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
not
Recently
good
just
record.
drew
That's not
to
good at all.
Oliveira of close by me, actually.
Interesting.
In the relegation playoff zone, just above who?
Ooh.
Benfica B and Porto B.
Yeah, buddy. And who's
love
at the
that.
top?
Who's in first? We love that.
Dude,
Stop the count.
Sporting-
Recently promoted.
Win the league, get promoted. We got 2 Sportings in the
We got
first.
2 sports. If only. If
Facts.
only. If only we could do that. Like if only real life
a man
was like a
can
game
dream.
of
A
FIFA.
man can dream. The day that happens.
If only real
Yep.
life was like FIFA career mode, where you could get your B teams
Bro,
promoted.
you think the
What if we-
Comunicados are bad now?
Oh, brother,
Yeah.
Imagine
exactly.
we had 2 Sportings in the first division.
bro.
I was
it'd
gonna
be
say, what if we can
amazing.
rebrand the B team if that happens to Sporting Sad,
Yeah,
and then like the Sad against Sporting, like
yeah.
isn't that what Portuguese people do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just rename it to Sod. Put Sod at the end of it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Make it
You're
look
happy.
like a generic Pez logo for an
Yeah,
unlicensed
just make
team.
like a new kind of
AI generated logo.
AI generated logo at
Facts.
this rate. Yeah, it's gonna look like a Pez team where they got the player license, but not the actual.
Have
team
you
license.
guys? Are you guys familiar with Aston Villa changed their logo? Everyone got mad, and then they changed it again. The
Yeah,
logo that they changed it to, that is like an AI generated.
that
like,
is
Sporting. It would look something like that.
Both the logos they changed it to also were worse than the
Yeah,
not
they're-
markedly worse than the one they used, but like worse enough. Where I'm like,
the
you should've
new
stuck
one
with your
is
logo.
certainly better, but
Yeah.
that one in the middle was just fucked up.
Wasn't great, which is crazy because that was actually like a version of like their old logo, kind of like how Man City did it.
Didn't hit.
But this one just didn't. This is one of the ones where it's like, no, like the newer one actually hits a bit better than the old one. Keep it.
Yeah, you guys said that B teams can't play in the first division. I mean, I saw some Porto versus Portimonense games that will tell you otherwise.
That's facts.
That's
Dave,
not,
cover your ears on this one. Every year we
can
complain about Braga against Benfica. It's just Benfica B.
Although they did us a solid last game of the season. So
To be fair, they
yeah,
did.
they did.
Although
They
Moutinho
did.
did.
We did ourselves a solid. We just won.
Oh, yeah,
That's all
too.
we need.
We did what we needed to do. So like anything that happened there wouldn't have mattered. They would have had to score like 28 goals.
But at least they can't say like they drew with us.
Yeah,
exactly.
In the league,
Although Moutinho got sent off, I think deliberately to try and
just
bring it back to Benfica.
because, just to make it interesting. Just to try to make things a little interesting.
We will talk about the Clasico, but I want to talk about saying I had a debate with GM10 Media. Of course.
I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear.
But the debate basically was, I can't remember how it started. He was saying that he thought Mateus Reis was like one of the most underrated sporting players of all time. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I can hear
It's
that.
a little crazy to me, but okay. Okay.
And then he went, he's an icon. And I said, I don't think I'd go that far. And then he was
Criminal,
like,
yes, icon. Let's settle down.
He said, you think Paulinho is an icon? I said, no, I do not. I think Paulinho is the definition of a cult hero. Loved by the fans, was a bit shit, but was also decent in some spells.
That's what Mateus Reis hopes he would be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I said the only legends I have from my time watching sport, because of course you've got the Five Islands.
Yeah.
Go that far.
Yeah.
But for me, no particular order, Sebastian Coates, Pedro Gonzalez, Victor Gyökeres. Did you guys have any more, or would you take any of the guys I mentioned out and replace them?
So for me, I think Coates, Pot, and Gyökeres for sure. In my 25, 24 years of watching Sporting, I would add Lietzen.
Of course.
I think Lietzen deserves to be up there. There's a few names that are coming to mind.
What are your guys' thoughts on Bruno Fernandes?
I was gonna say I'm putting Bruno Fernandes there.
That's the thing. He's so like borderline for me. Like I kind of want to not put him up there, but also like
that's exactly the issue with.
I think if Gyökeres gets in and Lietzen gets in, then Bruno has to get in.
I think Bruno would get it. I think Bruno is one of the best midfielders I've ever seen play in. Like in my time watching the Portuguese league, which is a long time, and I've seen some good players. He's one of the best, just in midfield. Like he dragged that team to trophies and trophy contention in those like 2 or 3 years.
I agree, but then I think the Alcachet first rescission does hurt that a little bit.
Gyökeres can't be in this list then.
Yes, very good point.
Yeah,
and like Chris mentioned, Lietzen too. Lietzen played for Porto at the end of the day, right? So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think just looking at like on-field stuff they won or like skill level, like that's what I want to look at. You can look at extracurriculars as well. I don't know that I put Miguel Veloso or João Moutinho on this list just because they weren't there as long.
Yeah. In my opinion, Veloso, Moutinho.
A forgotten man is going to become Bas Dost.
Yeah.
Because Gyökeres probably beat all his records.
Yeah.
Won more trophies.
Mm-hmm.
And Bas Dost, after the rescission, fell off. And was older, certainly.
He was old, he was an older
then
player.
He had a heart condition which forced his retirement early.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Also surrounded by a lot worse teams.
And he was on worse teams, and like the rescission whole thing, the Taça final, that is the last memory we have. And
Rostos played the Taça they won the year after. He scored in that game.
Did he stay?
He stayed. He
actually scored.
But he renewed. At the same time, he also renewed his contract to get more.
And he was like the highest paid player in the league.
I remember him scoring in that game against Porto to put us 2-1 up, and we had no business being
being in that game. The 17-18 season,
phenomenal.
Streets aren't gonna forget.
It was, I guess it's kind of like in history now. It's just gonna go down as stat padding, nothing, right? Because it was pretty shit.
Yeah,
we were like 20 points off the top. Like, I don't know. I feel like the Gyökeres 2 years almost leaves the 5 of Dost.
Gyökeres
in
was
the
getting more
memory.
attention. Gyökeres also was getting like crazy attention.
I don't know, it's going to
on the
become
league.
very easily for him to become a footnote of history. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
That's
Yeah.
fair. But at the same time, like future success shouldn't stop like what happened in the past.
Mhm.
I'm
for
also
sure.
I'm very easy. Like I think of a lot of players. Maybe I can categorize them differently from legend to cult heroes because maybe you're right. Maybe Freddie Montero is more of a cult hero. Not
He's
so much
called.
a
He's
legend.
called hero. He's
Nani
called
is on the
Nani.
border, but he doesn't quite make it.
For
I
me,
don't
Nani
think.
just doesn't have the amount of appearances to like.
Yeah.
I could say,
No,
I think
he has 3 or 4.
Nani's
different spells
Nani
with us.
had 3 different spells, but they were all like 1 or 2
seasons.
years.
Yeah,
like
fair.
Yeah.
he had a 2-year and then a 1-year loan, then a 1 year, then
But
like
then-
a half season. Like
If we wanna like also like see how players conduct themselves outside the pitch and that affects their legacy, then look at how
Mhm.
Nani conducted himself outside the pitch towards Sporting.
for sure.
I think
Yeah.
that also has to come into effect too. I had a player. I mean, I wish he didn't rescind his contract because I would have loved to put William on there because those years of William were
Patricio.
special.
William and Rui
Rui,
Patricio
yeah,
lose
of
course.
points
Mhm.
for how they conducted themselves off the field.
Again, players that just they didn't
Rui
get the
Patricio-
job done.
Rui
Yeah.
Patricio had the
Yeah.
appearances.
Mathieu,
That
Mathieu's
2021
cult hero.
team, they got the job done. It was something
Yeah.
that nobody else was
had
ever
been able to do in 20 years, in
Yeah.
almost 20 years. I will say for
Basically, in the
Patricio-
time frame that we're talking about.
Yeah. I will say for Patricio too, people forget that up until about 2014, he was not a good keeper. Like
yeah.
we had a solid like 5 or 6 years of God, this is our starter. Like he wasn't
with Patricio,
good for long stretches.
I think with Patricio, the rescission is the biggest thing because he was in the club for so long. It's really a stab in the back sort of thing there.
Yeah,
I think it's because he was there for so long, and the way he fell off that last season as well.
Yeah,
if he captain as well,
he was a captain. Yeah, like
I think he's like our most capped player as well. Like in modern day history, at least.
Up there. He's not the most. He's up there. He was like just off the record, I think.
In modern day history, sure.
Yeah,
like
modern. I think all time, like he wasn't far off. But like, even if I just take the rescission out and he just leaves under normal circumstances, I don't know that I would have put him because he was god awful to watch and just an absolute liability for the first 6-7 years of his playing career. It's a sport thing. Now he was thrown to the wolves as like an 18 or 19-year-old because Vladimir Stojkovic turned out to stink during like the 2008 season, which is
it was
still
like,
playing.
It was a mixed bag. It was a mixed bag. I guess.
It was such a mixed bag that I just he had more stinkers than memorable moments for me and like performances, which is why even without the rescission in play, I don't know that I would put him up there. He also didn't benefit from the fact that a lot of the teams like in that period around him also stunk. Like outside of, from 2014 onwards, a lot of those teams were not good. So he doesn't also just have a trophy haul where you could kind of overlook some of that, where you'd be like, well, he did win trophies and he was a starter. He only won a couple trophies as a starter.
The trophies came at the end, and he didn't get the big one.
Yeah.
He didn't get the big one. He didn't get enough of the smaller ones to be like, yeah, you can have a seat at the table. You know what he is? He's the kid who you can come to the birthday party, you can come chill with the friends, but you're not invited to sleep over. You got to go home at the end of the night, like you're not also, quite that cool.
I hear you guys though too, but I think because of how poor we were, I think you can't just base it off of trophies. It's because he left.
For sure.
If he had left in a different way, we would not be saying this. We would be saying that.
For me, if he left in 2016 after he won the Euros, like if he left that summer, he would be a legend. No, I would know that in my mind.
I'll go even further. If he had, for sure, absolutely, obviously, if you live in 2016, but also at the same time, there might be Sportingistas. I mean, Sporting fans are currently, mad at Gyökeres for wanting to leave after
wanting to go,
like doing something exceptional. I think even again, it just all comes down to the way you leave. Even if you left in 2018 after the attacks, not rescinding the contract, but letting us sell you.
Yeah,
you're
going under a
still a
slightly
legend.
more
We don't hate you.
circumstance.
You're still a legend.
I got that.
Because we're not going to look at Adan right now because he's won 2 league titles with us. Was it 2?
2.
Yeah.
He was on 2 teams.
Two?
He was on 2
league
teams.
titles with us and say, you're a legend of the club, because you're not. I mean, like you were saying, Rich, Rui Patricio was really bad. Adan was really bad, but he won 2 league titles.
He won 2 league titles.
Doesn't give us like.
I also look at
legendary
Patricio.
status.
Patricio didn't have the trophy haul, and he wasn't good enough for me to be like, yeah, you're a legend.
To me, it's just
exit. See, for me, exit notwithstanding, he still wouldn't be good enough for me. He's like
That's
right
crazy.
on the cusp. He's like that next tier below.
Okay, Richard. If 17-18 didn't happen, like the whole season where he doesn't make the mistakes, against those teams. Let's say he left the year previously. Is he there for you or not?
No.
Or is it still no?
It's still no. It's too. He's borderline. He's borderline for me. He's right there. He's not quite. He's not one enough, and he just was never quite good enough for me to want to put him in that tier.
I
disagree, but I understand.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Fine. That's fine.
But like I'm saying, I'm also too easy because in my eyes, Mathieu's a legend. You guys are gonna hate me. In my eyes, Palinha and Nuno Mendes are legends, bro. Like the good times we had with them, like has to be, and then what they've done outside of Sporting, I feel also has to. Like they represent Sporting Ismo.
I think Nuno Mendes in 10 years could be looked at maybe and been like, that is one of the best. Even still,
like
right now,
I mean, we all knew.
Exactly.
Well, I think we knew, but I don't think we really understood how like incredible, because we seen him doing it for Sporting and we just thought, wow, this kid is incredible. Now that he's doing it at the world stage, we're like, oh no, he's actually the
this
best.
guy might be like a generational left back.
Deserved to win the fucking Ballon d'Or. Like that's like next level of what I thought we thought of him. But again, and then the only other thing I was going to mention, and I know you guys are all going to disagree with me, but to me, he has to be a legend because he came from us. To me, it is Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo, if he goes to play for Benfica and Porto, obviously that changes. But because he didn't and he went to Saudi and he's probably going to retire there, I think he's a legend of the club. At the end of the day, we get to say we formed 2 different Ballon d'Or players. Figo's going to be a legend of the club. Figo also has like sweat equity in the club. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
Figo's an opportunist. Let's put it that way.
Figo's an opportunist, fine.
This is the guy who when he was with Sporting signed for 2 Italian teams behind their back, got a ban for playing Italian football, and
that's also us wanting to make money, and that's the time. The times are different. But
and then he signed for their biggest rival.
And then he signed for their biggest rival.
And his like sort of agent wasn't Paulo Futre, but it was Paulo Futre.
Have you watched that Netflix doc, by the way?
Yeah.
He comes. I think he was hoping that was going to be like a PR or a pair job for him, and he came out looking so much worse from that documentary.
I don't think Paulo Futre understood how bad he was going to look after this.
Yeah,
bro.
that's.
I mean, Figo for sure thought
this
is going to rehab my image. I'm going to come out looking. I think Figo thought he was going to come out looking like a hero, and I'm like, you thought wrong, my guy. For that one, he did not come out looking for a hero.
But I think Lauren hits it right on the nail on the head. The word,
it's such a subjective thing.
Yeah. Because like this guy said, and I've spoken to my dad and my brother, Mario Jardel is up there for them as well.
I'm just too young to remember.
We're doing modern.
Yeah. Let me just go
for some 21st century, I suppose.
Because we're all 2000 babies here, you know.
I'm a 97 baby. Like I don't remember 2000.
No. Richard, we're all 2000 babies here. Play along, bro. We're all 2000 babies here.
My knees say otherwise. My knees be saying otherwise, dog.
Yeah, let's go through some of the replies.
I'm curious what other people have said.
So this is a Benfica fan, to be fair.
Sorry,
but he does say, not legend, but iconic. Liedson, Coates, Ismailov, Capel, Nani. I can understand.
Dio Capel to me is more of a cult-like hero because he didn't play as well as like the other players. Ismailov is crazy.
Yeah, I don't really remember much about Ismailov.
I remember Ismailov pretty well. I liked Ismailov.
Yeah,
I liked him too.
A little bit of not like the most rogue shout, but a little bit of a rogue shout.
Listen, in my eyes, Miguel Lopes is more of a legend than Ismailov is for Sporting.
Wow.
Because that's what
I forgot about Miguel
Lopes. There's Miguel Lopes, Andre Coelho, I want to say, and like
he was there,
a few million.
We were in the trenches.
So
I'm curious. Keep going. What do we got here? Give him
Portugal's obviously the poor man, Bruno
That's a little
Fernandes.
harsh.
Crazy. Bastos, yes, fair enough. Pedro Barbosa and Nani Lietzen,
Fair.
feel like those all been
Pedro
said.
Barbosa, I don't
Pedro
remember that much.
Barbosa was just kind of wrapping up as I was starting to watch, so I can't make a fair comparison.
I think Hjulmand is a
Hjulmand's
good
good.
shout, but again, depending on how this season goes.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
I would put Jardel up there because like the stories I've heard about Jardel
Jardel
are
is
crazy. So
incredible.
I'm happy to put Jardel
He
up
had a
there.
40-goal season, I believe.
Lietzen was the
Lietzen.
most replied one, I think.
Lietzen's one of my favorites.
Mario Jardel, of course.
Mario
Lietzen,
Lietzen,
Pedro
Pedro
Barbosa,
Barbosa,
Lietzen.
Lietzen. Whoa,
This is-
what is this?
Pereira.
Bruno, you know what? I thought Bruno Pereira and Pontus
Yo.
Farnerud were going to be the truth.
I'm not gonna lie.
I was so sold on those
I
two
have
guys.
I have not heard the name Diogo Salomão in forever. I forgot the man. I
I
forgot
thought
the
he
man.
could be the
existed.
truth too, actually.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, fair.
I thought the first three guys in that list, Leandro Grimi, I thought those guys
Bro.
were gonna be fucking ballers.
If that's this guy's list, he has to add Andrés Geraldes to this list, man. I'm very upset.
Felipe
Very
Xabi as
What
well.
about
Yeah,
Francisco
Xabi.
Giraldes?
Yeah. Also,
Uh,
sorry, Lauren mentioned Mati goal right now.
Mati,
I don't
I'm
know about
surprised I
as a
haven't
cult
seen
hero.
Matthias
Cult
Fernandes.
hero, I
Cult
think.
hero, I
hero.
agree. He just
I'm
doesn't have the
surprised.
longevity. That's it.
Agreed,
They
yeah.
also like
Yeah.
he kind of suffered from the system of like it
Yeah,
was
poor team.
often like him and like 9 or 10 other guys. Like
It was him, Lietzen, and pray for the rest.
and dreams. Like
The Pinto,
Yeah,
I
I
think,
like
is a really good
Pinto.
shout as well. Obviously, before
Pinto,
our time, I
yeah.
would say as well.
That was-
Inacio as well. I'm just like, I really don't know with Inacio because again, it's like he come from the academy, played well, but again, it's just like, does that mean Bragança is? Does that mean Quaresma is? Like, where's
No,
the
but
line?
Inacio
drawn?
obviously has a lot more minutes.
a lot,
Yeah,
and Inacio has more of like a higher
importance
stock
in
than
the
those
team
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand. It's the last one I'm going to show, which I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
Anderson
Facts.
Polga.
Get out of here, Anderson.
I've been
Polga.
saying this. Facts, bro. And you guys,
World Cup winner.
I understand. He's had poor
World Cup
games.
winner.
Exactly. World Cup winner. He's had poor games. Sure. He's had some great games too, bro. We're remembering Anderson Polga wrong, bro.
The thing
He
is,
was
I only remember him being shit. Like that's
Nah.
all I
I remember
Anderson
him being
Polga.
good.
I remember him being good
That
as
was
well,
just-
bro.
I
That
remember
was
him
just
being
before my
just
He
time.
could have
fine.
been
I
a
remember being
European
phenomenal.
champion at Sporting, you know?
Low
Yeah.
key, bro. Low key. But again, that's before. I want to say maybe saying 2000s is like a little too much. Like if we're going off of like 2005 onwards or 2010,
2004 onwards.
That is a bit.
yeah.
I was very young when Anderson Polga was doing.
I was well into my football watching days now. Like 2005, I was a young kid, but like I was watching football. Like, I
Yeah.
was watching this team.
I was
every
10.
week.
At 10, I was playing FIFA. I was watching
Yeah.
the occasional game. You know?
Yeah, like I was watching every week, and I was
I was
learning
old
enough
enough
to
to
know,
understand.
like, okay, this guy's good, this guy's whatever. And Anderson Polga to me was bang average, or like, come on, what are you doing on the field,
Yeah.
brother? You're killing me.
Yeah,
In
I
a
feel like
sense,
I
he's
remember
getting
him
there.
just as he was like finishing up. So that makes
Yeah.
it why it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, again,
Yeah.
I put my time.
But I always liked Anderson Polga.
No Helder Postiga shouts.
Surprised actually.
Do you know what
Shocking.
was so crazy? I was watching
Manish.
the Porto
No
game.
Manish, no
versus-
Pedro Mendes shouts.
Who were they playing? I think it was Red Star. The commentator, the pre-match interviewer, Helder Postiga, arguing
Yeah.
in English
Whoa.
with Mr. Farioli for a good
That's
5 minutes.
crazy.
I was
Holy.
like, what
Mr.
kind of world are we living in?
Farrelly.
All those guys from like that Euro 2004 World Cup 06 are all like pundits now, and it's so jarring.
Postiga,
Like,
if
seeing
I'm not
Mani-
mistaken, didn't he play in England?
He did.
For
Played
Spurs
Tottenham.
for like 6 months.
Bolton or
if
some
that.
shit? Oh,
He played for
Spurs.
Spurs.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
remember when he was playing. I remember this so vividly, watching their quarterfinal against England. And
Penang.
I didn't know much about English football, but I remember the commentator being like, well, this guy hasn't scored a goal for Spurs. He's been awful and blah blah blah. And playing in England,
He took
And
him
then
out and put
and then he
Figo out.
scores.
Wow.
He scores a header. He scores the header, the tying goal, 1-1 to send the game to extra time. And then he scores the most audacious chip penalty. And I'm like, bro, I thought that guy was gonna be the truth too.
He was Eder before Eder, bro.
He was like Eder before Eder, low key. He was just crazy. He just came on, banged 2 goals. Like, this guy knows nothing what he's done. This guy's sick. He's like, he'll score 2 fucking sick goals. His computer's rubbish.
This guy's the
Edo
goat.
is also a pundit on that same Sport TV channel. So
Yeah.
And they're all on Sport. They're all on like Sport TV and Canal Ons. A lot of them, like Manish, I think, is on Canal Ons.
Yeah.
A lot of
I think the
commentators.
TVI and Seek only get like Dani. Like they don't get.
I've
really
watched
interesting.
I've watched a few of the podcasts on Sport TV where it's Pedro Barbosa, it's Nuno Gomes, it's some lady, and it's some
I
other
like Nuno
dude.
Gomes. I like Nuno, even though he was a Benfica guy. I like Nuno Gomes.
He might be Benfica's next vice president, if I'm not mistaken, if Noronha wins. So we'll
If
see.
Noronha Lopes wins, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Keep
But,
an eye on
Christoval, the guy who promised Jurgen Klopp is going to win, boys.
that.
Still got a shot.
What's the
Also-
latest poll saying on that, by the way? Like,
Is
what
that
are
like
they?
2%.
I think Rui Costa
I mean,
still
as a whole,
lead,
is it
isn't
Rui Costa still ahead now?
No.
Was it
No,
Noronha
I think
Lopez?
Noronha
Noronha
Lopez
Lopez.
last time I
Noronha
checked.
Lopes is in the lead.
But,
It's gonna be like Noronha Lopes with 40% of the vote, and then the other Rui Costa and Vieira, I think, are gonna split the other. Like,
Hot take.
Yeah.
I think
Whatever.
Luis Vieira is gonna have a bigger stake than people think.
He was
And
at 4%, then he was at 10% in the latest.
I
poll.
think him and Rui Costa are gonna end up splitting the vote.
He's
And then
been
it's gonna
his
go to Noronha
voters
Lopes.
could ultimately decide it in a second
Yeah.
round, though.
Yeah, true.
and he was pulling some
If he
punches,
doesn't get into the second round, which
Yeah.
he was
looks like he won't.
Oscar Cardozo, I think, like came out to say like support Noronha Lopes or some shit like that. And Luis Vieira went on like an interview on CMTV and he was like,
rip him apart.
Noronha Lopes, why are you paying like ex players to support you? Like this is such a waste of money. Blah blah blah. Blah. Like what does Oscar Cardozo have to do with? He doesn't even know Noronha Lopes. Oh, maybe he knows Nuno Gomes, but he doesn't even know Noronha Lopes. Like I was just talking to him on the phone 2-3 days ago. Blah 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 blah. I'm like,
And then he
wow.
said this is
Wild.
disrespectful to them.
Yeah.
The greatest foreign goal scorer in Benfica
Yeah.
history.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's
I love it.
unbelievable.
It's
I
awesome,
love
bro.
it.
Oh, and also Benfica just got charged with like violating sanctions in their transfer of German Conte to Lokomotiv Moscow.
Yeah.
Unlike Sporting, who did a deal with a Russian squad and made sure they got all their everything. was in
All
order.
the I's were dotted and the
It's-
T's were
It
crossed.
literally seems like Rui Costa is trying to lose the election,
Yeah.
and people
It doesn't
in
feel like he's trying to win. That's for
people are
sure.
conspiring against him as well. It feels like
Yeah.
I'll be honest. He does
There's
not
a
have the
concerted
institutional
effort.
bias. Like the institutions seem to be trying to fuck him over, which
Yeah.
I think
seems to be working great.
Yeah, I think you're also forgetting Barandistão exists, buddy.
Oh yeah, how can we forget?
Nationally and internationally.
Who does he support?
That's a great question.
Does
I
he-
thought
think
it
he's-
was Veranda's Rui Costa handshake.
I thought they
I
were
thought they
boys,
were.
bro.
I thought they were best
thought they
They're in a
BFFs
BFFs for
pack
a
to
while.
only shit on Porto, but
They were BFFs for like.
I
that
think
month.
I think Rui Costa's only doing this now to like sort of win the votes back because last season was really just Sporting and Porto. But we'll see. He's starting to slow
you
key.
can see he's in a bit of a
They just
panic mode.
they did like a publication today where I thought somebody died, but it's just like
How
we
dare
don't like
Porto.
when Felix
and you have to
always the
remember,
same.
like any bullshit video that you see with like the penguin eyeballs
Yeah.
and the comunicados crying about one thing and there's
Like,
real
it's just trying to look strong.
that is all Rui Costa. That is
Yeah.
the current admin, which is him. So
Like
this
that's
is-
not going out without
this is
his
what
okay.
he thinks is gonna like give him some juice,
The
which
win.
is embarrassing.
That's not
Crazy.
some social media intern. That's not some social media intern like taking it upon themselves. Like that does
Yeah.
something like that does not go
This
out
is
without
the
the
club.
president
This is
okaying
what
it.
they're
And-
the direction they're moving in. You know?
And we're well aware of this because we had a president who would
used
do
to
these
love doing
comunicados
that.
himself.
And it was
Maybe
embarrassing
not on Twitter,
then.
but on Facebook.
It
Some
was
of them are good.
embarrassing.
A few of them were solid. I won't lie.
I'll never.
He would
forget
he would go on
Atletico
Sporting
Madrid
TV
one.
for interviews and just for 2-3 hours straight just
torch the
ramble
club.
on. But they were saying, "Oh, this guy's a psychopath. This guy's this adepto president." But now when it's Rui Costa, it's not the same sort of sentiment. Benfica fans are loving these posts, by the way.
There are sections of Benfica fans that
Listen,
love these posts.
The Kool-Aid is always sweet when you're drinking it, baby. I can't.
I will say on just a quick one. I was really bored today, so I was looking at all the manifestos for the Benfica candidates. Right, you mentioned
I
Bruno
love
de
that
Carvalho.
manifesto.
João Diogo Mantegos was compared to Bruno de Carvalho by I
Really?
don't know which one by one of the other electees.
Okay.
You wish.
But let me just read you some of Cristobal Carvalho's promises. The guy who promised Jurgen Klopp.
This is going to be phenomenal reading. I cannot wait.
So of course, Jurgen Klopp, the main one. Like,
Okay.
okay, whatever. He wants to win the next 3 out of the 4 national championships, which fair enough. Like I can
I know where
understand.
this is going.
Okay, I know where this is going.
He wants to win 3 European titles in the next 12 years, including Champions League in the next 5.
Wow.
By the way,
this guy.
he says that, right? So 3 on the next 12.
Yeah,
he
so,
wants at
and
least
then
one
so
Champions
what's
League.
going to happen after that?
Yeah, no.
They're going to fall off and win 2 conference leagues. Like what?
Exactly. The math's not
Wait.
mathing. You want to win 3 out of the next 4 league titles. You want to win 3 European leagues or 3 European championships, but you still want to win the league. Buddy, you cannot drop down to the Europa League anymore, bro. Like, how
Yeah,
do you win
it's
Europa
not.
Leagues,
You're not
you know?
Sevilla. Like
So
you don't
that's-
have that.
That's 3
Like,
Champions League titles then.
And he
well.
thinks he's above a curse. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that
and
curse still has like 30 years left on it, dog. Like,
Yeah, bro.
he also wants 1 million Benfica socios by 2029, which they currently have 400,000. So good luck with
okay,
that.
like
That's not hard,
ambitious,
bro.
but all right, like you
That's
could
not
do
hard,
that.
bro.
Good luck with
Mm.
that.
He'll
Good luck with that,
fucking.
but, like-
There's definitely some dead sausages.
That's
that are gonna
probably
come back
that's
to life.
probably to be
Don't
fair,
you
that's
worry,
probably
man.
the most you've listed 4. That's probably the most attainable of the 3 things you've listed so far.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay,
There was
what else-
one that there was one
what
I was
else is in
reading.
this
that-
manifesto? I'm curious.
There's nothing else that is too crazy, but there was one I actually thought, you know what, that's fair enough. He wants Benfica
Okay.
TV to be free to all paying socios, so you don't have to pay.
I like
extra.
that.
Fair
That's that. You know what? That's a really good. If you're a paying sauce, you should be able to just have it. That's fair.
Other than that, they were just like the same old. Oh, be more transparent financially,
Of course,
all that stuff.
that's-
But those are the main ones, which
That's
maybe
crazy.
But yeah, speaking of
What a
Benfica, I
manifesto!
suppose,
What a manifesto that was.
as you mentioned, the Clasico ended 0-0. I don't know if you guys watched it. I think genuinely the most boring game of football I've ever seen in my
I
entire
didn't
life.
watch it, and I honestly, based on everything I saw, I feel like a better person for not having watched it.
I had a giant melon of a head for the opening 30 minutes, so I didn't watch the opening 30. But
I was also
Mourinho-
I was also at soccer, so like even if I wanted to watch it, I couldn't.
Mourinho masterclass, baby. He's
Mourinho,
back, baby.
He's back.
He's
Let's
even,
go
he
back.
said
Attack-
he's not going 7 points down. We
Yeah.
are not losing this game.
You're
no
not-
matter
My
what
favorite thing, attacked Riwav less than a week ago. They're defensive. They came here for a draw.
Anti-jogo.
Anti-football. Very slow. This isn't the way our league is going to progress. Why isn't the referee giving a yellow card on the 7th minute to the goalkeeper if it's to slow down play? What difference does it make if it's the 7th minute or 50th minute? Boys, against Porto, let's hold the ball, baby. I
Masterclass.
love this man. I'm so sad that he's at Benfica, bro. So
So
sad.
Richard, you said that you didn't think you missed anything. So there were 3 shots on target
Yep.
the entire game
Yep.
combined.
Buddy, I let in more goals in the first like 20 minutes of my game.
2 for Porto,
To be
1
fair,
for Benfica.
2 of them were piss missiles, but
And
and we
If
still
I'm not
won.
mistaken, the one for Benfica was almost an own goal. Am I not
Yeah.
wrong?
Yeah.
Buddy,
Benfica
I let
had an
in
XG of 0.12.
That's
Mourinho.
you should go to jail. for
Mourinho
that.
ball, baby.
And they have the audacity to say, oh, we didn't win this game because of these refereeing decisions. Look out
Are
this video with the
you
penguin.
kidding me?
0.12 XG.
Farioli. I mean, last year with Anselmi, he refused to play William Gomes for some reason. This year,
Yeah,
William
for
Gomes is
whatever
balling.
reason
Farioli
that
this
was
year
today.
refuses to play Rodrigo Mora unless it's against us, obviously, because
Yep.
what's his name was injured. Viega was
Yeah.
injured. The kid comes on and almost fucking scores a banger to win them the game.
Right?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, bro. Farioli, do what you did at Ajax, please, next season, bro. Bottle this fucking league with 5 games left, please.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time,
Please.
lots of time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed this game by the sounds of it because
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a great game.
Yeah,
Great
I
game.
went
3
to a
shots
pro
on
game.
goal the entire 3 shot attempts the entire game.
Great game.
Oh, sorry, 3 shots on target. The
On
entire
target.
game.
What was their
There's a
shot?
few-
What was their shot attempts for the game?
In
Don't say
total,
four.
8
Please
for Porto, 4 for Benfica. But again, only
No.
amounting to 2 shots on target for Porto out of the 8. and 1 out of Benfica's 4.
God, if
Porto
anybody
have-
neutral was gonna watch this game, I'm sorry for your loss.
Porto had more XG against their own net than
Than they
Benfica
on
did.
Benfica. Well,
And
I
then
am
they say
very
XG
glad I
doesn't
was.
matter, bro.
I am very glad I got to go play soccer instead of watching.
I'm
this
very
fucking
glad Mourinho's
monstrosity.
back in the league. I
This
love this
box
guy.
office.
Love this.
It's gonna be
guy.
a tough one to play them.
It is. It is going to be annoying.
Look at this
That's
table,
only
by the way. This
downside.
table is all sorts of just discombobulated. So you got Porto, Sporting Benfica, not outrageous. Gil Vicente, Moreirense, Famalicão, and then in 7th and 8th is Guimarães and Braga. Nacional being that high is
Nacional's having a
ridiculous.
good season, bro.
Same with Alverca,
Alverca and
who
Arouca.
kind of look like
too.
relegation fodder at certain points.
Yeah.
Santa Clara is going down. That's my shout of the season. They failed
Really?
to make conference league, so it only means one thing:
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
relegation.
Who's our Estoril and who's our last two? Tondela.
Well,
and
AVS.
AVS can go.
Avs has to
Is
fuck off.
AVS gonna break their own break the old Ovs record of like 11 points or whatever it was?
Do you know what's crazy? That 1 point is to Sporting Braga. Like,
That's
come on.
unbelievable.
Listen, we were talking about legacy and legends early on. I think Avs with 1 point currently, and depending on how they finish the league, only adds to Ochoa's legacy. Because
Fact.
what he did last season to keep them up in the league, it is incredible. Not
Hang on,
talked
I'm
about
curious-
enough in Portugal.
I'm curious. Ovs has 1 point. I want to know what their record is. So it's saying the record was Casapia with 2 points, but this was a 14
the
match.
problem is the
season.
record is a 16-team league, so
Yeah.
it's going to be really tough for them to be worse than that. But
Yeah.
They're on track though.
on pace,
On pace, like
they're pacing for what, like 6 points?
Yeah.
7 losses,
4.
1 draw. Like if you extrapolate that, like yeah, you're on pace to come dangerously close. Like if you finish with
big as well.
if you finish with less points than a relegated team in a 16-team league season, like you should fold your club. You should fold your club anyways, ABS, but you know.
They'll probably hit double digits after it's all said and done.
Yeah.
They'll hit double digits.
To make it interesting.
It's gonna be tough to see them get much like very deep in the double digits.
While since we're talking about them, let me just say December 13th, I'm predicting a Sporting loss. Since we're saying all of this about Avs.
That'll be
Sporting loss at home.
That's gonna be the
Because
game where people are gonna
Only us.
call for us.
Only us.
That'll
We'll
be the game
ones to
where
give them the
that'll be the
their
Rui
first
Bar.
win.
That'll be the Rui Bars out game too. That'll be the game where fans
I'll
actually do
I'll
go
be
to
Rui
weird.
Bars out if that happens.
Yeah, that's gonna be the game where it's like, oh, you know what? Never mind, get them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's early, but this is a crazy looking table as it stands.
Yeah, Estoril, I think, are in trouble.
I mean,
They were
Tondela's
horrible.
been the yo-yo team for how many years
We
now?
should
Like,
have
not
destroyed them.
shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Tondela's a yo-yo team,
think
so like, would
It
be
also
shocked.
I think it also speaks on our quality. I think the Portuguese league has progressed more than people give it credit to. We just need to make one of these little fucking teams just need to make conference league consistently.
We just need.
Like Gil Vicente can't
Yeah.
fuck this up next year because Gil Vicente have a really good team.
Yeah,
I've
they have
really
a
been
fun
impressed
team
with Gil Vicente.
too.
Moreirense have been good for fucking years now.
Famalicão's
like our
been a
Brighton.
good team.
You know what I mean? So these teams need a.
It also speaks
Nacional
to
needs to fuck off because
Yeah.
next year I cannot have Nacional and Marítimo again, bro.
No, I can't.
Bro,
have,
Nacional
I can't have
been
three
good.
island teams.
Nice.
Nacional have been good to be fair, yes.
Yeah.
but they need to fuck
Gui-
off.
It also speaks to Guimarães and especially Braga's like inability to really grow past what they've been the last like decade and a half.
Braga are weird. I think Braga is just the coach taking time to adapt to the league, maybe because I think. I mean, we've seen Braga. Braga look decent. They look good. I think even before the Sporting game, Braga had the highest XG or some shit like that.
They look
Out of
really
all the
good
teams.
going forward, but they
Yeah.
always are so
They
bad on
leak
the counter attack.
Yeah.
And that's how they lost to AVS. 2 counter attack
Exactly.
goals.
2 counterattack goals.
Sorry, they drew to
Drew.
AVS. Two
Yeah,
Yeah.
counterattack
but
goals.
if you draw to AVS, you just
You
forfeit
should
those
lose. You
points.
That's
should
an
forfeit
automatic
all your
sacking
points.
for me.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
But
Yeah,
like
but I'll
Victoria as well, they sold all their best players.
Yeah,
Like
Victoria's.
Handel left
Yeah.
for like
And
Braga
they
is just one of those
they leave
teams
for
where-
pennies because Handel went to like maybe $1 million.
red stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
Red Star
some of their
maybe,
guys
maybe.
left, and I'm like, I would have put in a bid for that guy. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, Braga's just like they're on that, like they sometimes knock on that glass ceiling, and sometimes they they just let you down though. Like they're a weird club.
All Santa Clara had to do was beat Shamrock Rovers, which is very easy on paper.
Which
and
on anything is very logical.
Shout
and
out Conrad Murphy though.
Shout out Conrad.
Facts. But also, when you look at Victoria last year under Rui Borges, they were flying. They were flying in
great.
Europe. Second, unbeaten.
No, but
They
he's
were
a shit
amazing in
manager. No, it's
Conference
because he was a
League.
shit manager, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. But anyway, I think that's all we got time for. Unless you guys got anything else to.
The
speak about.
ladies had a big win yesterday.
Mhm.
Since we're on European
UEFA
competition.
Europa Cup.
Yep, Women's Europa Cup. They had a big 3-0 win. I forget against who. I forget. Rosengard, I think was the team.
Rosengard, yeah.
Rosengard 3-0 win. So that is in the round of 32. So that is the first leg. They have a return leg, but they look on course to make the final 16 of the new kind of secondary Europa League equivalent for the women. Let's see if they can make a run. They actually have a chance. They've looked good for long stretches this season. So let's hope that maybe a Sporting football title is in the works, but it's for the ladies. Who knows? A European title. Who could say?
Yeah, we talked about the
That'd be
B team being in first, but the B team beat Les Changes 4-0 away.
4-0.
Yeah,
Nope.
big away win.
Handball won for the league as usual, so they're still undefeated.
Hockey.
Mhm.
Hockey, yes.
Hockey won the World Cup of Clubs, which it seems like not that hyped, but they won it.
They won it. We take it.
We take it. Basketball won their season opener.
Yeah.
And I know that handball played a Champions League game today and lost. So they're now 2-2.
Okay.
Played a good team, a team that we've played before. Yeah, that's really it, I think.
Cool.
Right on.
We will be taking next week off as it is the international break. I'm sure we will be back when we've got Paris de Ferreira, but also Marseille to review as well.
Yeah, we'll be back for that. I might not be back. I get my wisdom teeth out next week, so I might be on the IR I might be on the injured reserve depending on how I'm feeling that first week back.
If you have that what's the thing? The gas to make you like just talk nonsense, you have to come on here. I just want to
Buddy, they're giving me. I told them like I want nothing but the best drugs.
I want premium.
I want good stuff. You knock me out, and then whatever you can give me for the pain, whatever the highest legal thing you can give me, please. So I might come out zooted out of my mind on a show and barely coherent, but I might be here. We'll see.
Listen, if you're zooted, I'll be zooted, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate the solidarity.
Yeah,
I think.
solidarity zooting.
Yeah, make sure you follow Danny. If I can get the graphic up, there we go. There, you can follow Chris there. You'll follow Richard there, myself there. But of course, most importantly, make sure you follow all things Alvalade on all social media and podcast platforms, even streaming platforms now, live on Twitch. So yeah, make sure you follow us on there as well. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time, and peace.